Okay, so I wasn't planning to do a Cull video, but my husband wanted to get rid of some games we had talked about getting rid of anyway. He made a stack, and I said, why don't you throw in a few that you would get rid of? If it was just you making the call, what would you get rid of? So I think he went a little overboard, though. We don't have that big of a collection, so this is a lot of our collection right here. It's not quite a quarter. We have about 150 games, and there's a little less than 30 here. But, well, there's probably over 30. Okay, well, let's get with it. First of all, Mariposas is about the generational migration of butterflies. It's about collecting resources and not stretching yourself too thin, and it's very tactical. This is a game I honestly haven't played as much as I would like. I don't know, I don't think it's such a good match for the heavier gamers in my life. And it's a little too heavy for my lighter gamers that would like this theme a whole lot, like my mom. I would love to play this with her, but I'm not sure she would enjoy it. I can see why he thinks this would be a good one to move on, but I really love this game. I love the theme of it, and I'm hoping that I'll have a couple more good plays of it before we get rid of it. Mariposa Sustain. Pantone! We haven't even tried it yet! This was given to us. I don't know, has anyone played this, and do you like it? Would you recommend it? If so, I will play it. I will open it up and play it, and maybe even review it. But otherwise, we might just pass it along to someone else who would really enjoy it. So, I guess it's a maybe? Let me know. Set. Okay, this has no reason being in this because this actually belongs to my mom. I need to return it to her, but this is a great game. It's all about pattern recognition. It was one of the first games I excelled at when I was a kid. It's excellent for dyslexic gamers. This is a really cool game to check out if you're really good, if you really are interested in pattern recognition and kind of like racy pattern recognition. This is a fun game. This is definitely not one to get rid of. And I should probably give it back to my mom. So now I need another pile to return to people. Okay. Unlocks. We were given these. We haven't played them yet. I don't know. They're so small. Maybe we will want these one time. Like, if we ever get to have parties again. This might be really fun to do. What is it for? 6 players. Yeah. I'm inclined to keep these for a just-in-case situation because they don't take up that much space. Maybe. We'll put it on the maybe pile. This one I feel really bad about. I asked for Parks for Christmas because I played it one time with a friend of mine and I was totally, like charmed by the theme and the beauty. This is a beauteous game. This is one of the most beautiful games I've owned. But I've played other people's copies more since I received this. And I don't think it's a great game. And I've never found myself having fun playing this game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just feel like it's not for me after all. So I think we will be selling this to someone else, finding a new home for it. So now I need a new home pile. Here we go. Genotype. I like Genotype. I know Daniel's not a big fan. It's a worker placement, and he doesn't like worker placement. I like this game a whole lot. You can check out my review of it. We just got it. So, no, this is not leaving the collection. Okay, Arkham Horror, the card game. I still don't know how to play this game. We sat down and played it for a good 2 hours and still didn't understand the rules. It's just really hard to understand. The rule book is terrible. I want to like this game. I've heard so many good things. I know people love it. I really, really wanted to get it and like it. But apparently Daniel feels like he's done trying. I want to learn how to play it, but it's so hard to learn. Is it worth it? If Daniel wants to get rid of it, I'm fine with getting rid of it. Maybe someone can teach me how to play their copy. Tarji, I like this game. This is a 2-player game. Daniel doesn't like it, so guess what? We never play it. But it's a really interesting game. You only get to choose to put your worker or your little guy on a place that isn't across from the other player. So it kind of has this abstract feel to it. It's very different, very unique. I'm gonna say we hang on to it because I'd like to play it more. And I'm hoping I can teach some more of my friends how to play it so I have someone to play with. Yeah, I like Tarji. Going to keep it. Century Golem Edition. No, it is not leaving the collection. This is one of my son's favorite games. This game is great. It's all about collecting the correct colored gems to purchase these fantastical golem creatures, and there are market cards which allow you to upgrade your gems so you can get what you need for purchasing. It's very good, but we actually haven't played it in a long time, and I think he forgets how good this is. It's not going out of our collection. We really enjoy it. My son really enjoys it, and I know we'll be playing it for years to come. So, Daniel. Codenames. I know he's putting these games in just to annoy me, but I love Codenames. This is a kind of a little bit of a party game. It plays pretty big group. It can play up to 8 players, and it's all about word association. I think it's a great game. I wish I got to play it more. So yeah, it's not leaving. This is actually one of the first games that we got that kind of got me into the hobby, which it's another video for another day. So Codenames is staying. Okay, Hues and Cues is not leaving this again. This is Theodore's favorite game. He loves this game. He loves teaching it to adults. He loves playing it with his grandparents and his friends. And I really like this game too. I think it's really unique. It's all about color association. With this game, there's a whole bunch of colors on the board, and you will be given a card, and you can select a color swatch. And you get to give a 1-word clue to get the whole group to guess that exact color swatch on this board. And then you do get a second turn where you get to give a 2-word clue. You have to choose your words very wisely because everyone associates color with different things. And it's just really fun to see what people come up with. So I think this is a clever game. It's so easy to teach. It plays a huge, I think, what does it say? Yeah, it plays up to 10 people. So that's really rare for a good board game. So definitely not leaving this collection. I like it so much. This Black Hole Council, this is a interesting game that I couldn't, care less if I played again. It's a negotiation, deduction style game, and what you're doing is you're voting different people into black holes, from what I remember. It wasn't as fun as it sounds, though. Which is probably why we only played it once. Fluttering Souls. All right, so this was a game that I reviewed a little while ago. I did like this game. I thought it was very cute. It's very small. It's a really small package. And you are basically just trying to get the most points based off of the sets of butterflies that you collect. It's a drafting style game, but you can only draft what cards are unlocked, and there's these different patterns you have to make for the different game setups. So every game has a different card arrangement, and then you can only draft the cards that have no other card in front of it. And that's basically it. It's a really simple game. It's very pretty. But I understand why Daniel feels like maybe we should pass it along, because we haven't played it a whole lot, and we do have other small card games that we play more. So I think I am ready to move this along to someone else who would enjoy it more. The Grizzled. This is one of the first co-op games. I think it's one of the first co-op games we bought. The Grizzled is a World War I theme game. So if you're ever, looking for a World War I game, this is a must. Basically, there is a like a threat deck, and if you go through the entire threat deck, then you win. Something bad happens if you get three of a kind in a row. I know I'm not selling this game, but we're not getting rid of it. It is such a small box. I love the artwork. It was drawn by Tignes. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he was the French artist who was later assassinated. It isn't for everyone. It is really hard to win, but I like it. It's charming. I think we should keep this one. So I'm going to put it in the keep pile, and we'll see what Daniel thinks. Okay. Herbaceous. Herbaceous is another little card game, and this is what I'm thinking of when I was thinking of Fluttering Souls. I'd rather keep Herbaceous over Fluttering Souls because it does have a little bit more going on. It is another enchanting, beautiful card game that I haven't really gotten to play a whole lot, unfortunately. But I would like to play it more. I'd like to give it a little bit more of playtime before we get rid of it. And I accidentally ordered 2 of them, so I guess we should get rid of one. Okay. This is where I feel kind of guilty. This was given to me by the publishers, the app, and we still haven't played it. It's in shrink, unfortunately. But it's very similar to another game that we already have called Bob's Burgers, where you're rolling dice and you're trying to race to get what you need on your player board. We never got to open it. I didn't want to waste it. I didn't want to just open it for opening's sake. So this is a game that we will pass along for someone else. Hopefully they will enjoy it and be able to get a good use for it. Hopefully it'll find a good home. This is a Red Raven game by Ryan Lockett, and I really love his designs. I love his artwork. I love his vision and his worlds. I totally get why you put this on the pile, because we have Sleeping Gods. And Sleeping Gods is like the epic Red Raven boat game. But this game is very different from Sleeping Gods. It has all these little islands for you to visit and glean resources. This will be a sweet spot game for our kids in probably about 2 to 3 years. And maybe it's foolish to hang on to games for, those what if moments. But I want to hang on to it and see if it's a game that my boys will really love in a couple years. So that's why I'm inclined to keep it. So I'm going to put it in the yes pile. And again, if Daniel really feels like we should get rid of it, I'd be open to compromising, but I kind of want to keep it. Also, it's so pretty. I like it. I like the way it looks on the shelf. Alien Artifacts. Yeah, Alien Artifacts, there's these different factions, and you're trying to, expand your universe. Yeah, I feel like we played it enough, and we're done. There's a lot of these set collection things that you're doing. I like the graphic design of it, and I like the artwork too. But I agree with Daniel. I think that we've, it's fulfilled its gaming destiny at the Minato house, and we're ready to move it on to a new home. Orleans. This is hard. Orleans is one of my, games I kind of really liked it for a long time. We just played this the other month with a friend of ours, but we played it so much that we kind of feel like we know how to play it, like how you're supposed to play it. When he and I play, we both have to do the same strategy, otherwise the other person's going to cream us. And it's not fun when a game feels like that. But it is a great game. I recommend Orleans to people because it's a really fun bag builder. And it's a point salad where you can just gain points all different ways. This one's hard. I kind of want to keep it more for sentimental reasons than actual game night want to play reasons. So I'm not sure if that's a good reason or not. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the maybe pile for now. Singrata. He's crazy. I don't know why this isn't a call list. I love Singrata. It's a puzzle-y game. It kind of feels a little bit like Sudoku, where you're always trying to find the perfect number cube for the right color, for the right spot, to get the right points. It's really, really good. It's really, really beautiful. I don't want to call this, so I'm not going to call it. Oh, I didn't even see this in here. Yes, I'm fine with calling this. But I do want Pandemic Siberia at some point, because I really like that game. Or, Andrew, you have to come over and play Pandemic Siberia with me again sometime, because I really like that game. It's about a pandemic where you're trying to keep the outbreaks under control. Everyone has a different role to play, and as the cards are flipped, it's going to cause outbreaks and cascades of outbreaks throughout the world. So you really have to work together as a team, but it does seem to suffer from quarterbacking, which is when one player directs everyone else, and that isn't always fun. So not all co-ops are like that. And this one is like definitely like that. So I'm totally fine with calling this and finding a good home for it. And maybe just playing, Andrew's copy of Pandemic Siberia whenever I feel like it. Or not whenever I feel like it, but whenever he brings it over. Okay, wow, we're really getting down. We're getting down there. I still have quite a few to go through. This is pretty easy for me. Role player, I'm ready to call. This is something that we've spoken about before. Role player is a game where you're placing dice and you're trying to, fill out the dice in a way that's most beneficial for you to, score the most points. It's not all that different from Singrata, but it is different. There is a more card drafting element where, you have to choose which order you want to go in to draft the cards, how much money you want to spend on that. So there is a money aspect to it. It has more player interaction, I would say. And the theme is all around this idea of building a dungeon-style role-player game, a Dungeons and Dragons-style role-player game where, you have the bards, you have the elves, you have the dwarf, I don't know, you have all the different races and all the different classes, and you end up with a bit of a role player with different scores for the different abilities, like whether they have charisma or strength or what have you. Yeah, it was a cute theme. It was an interesting idea, but it's not as good as Singrata, and I think we're done with it. So we will move this along. That's one we previously discussed about a couple times. Okay, I think we're halfway. Okay. Roman poker. No. I don't want to call this. I like this little This is a little pusher-like game where you're rolling dice that have Roman numerals on, and if you roll a number that is not a legal or a legitimate Roman numeral, like if you would roll, 4 5s, then you bust basically. It's really light and easy to teach people. It's push your luck, and it's unique because it's dealing with the Roman numerals. So I think we should hang on to it. I mean, it's not taking up that much space. And we're going to keep it for when we're teaching the boys Roman numerals. Right, Daniel? This is Ziestra. This game we haven't gotten a chance to play. And unfortunately, I got it right before the pandemic, and we just haven't had the opportunity to play it with a group. It's a bit of a party game. It's supposed to be about like Ukrainian marriages, I think. Or is it Russian marriages? I really was drawn to the art, the color palette. I thought it would be kind of a cool game to check out. So, fortunately, we just haven't had a chance to play it. I think we are ready to move it along, though, because now that I've kind of read the rules and I know more about it, I don't think it is a good suit for my game group and the people I play with. So, I think we will be passing along to a better home. Die Hard. All right, so it's based off the classic Christmas movie with Bruce Willis. And it's fun. I've had fun. Like, we don't play it a lot. I think we should keep it. That's what I think. It's an all against one, shoot it out sort of game where, yeah, Bruce is against everyone else. So Bruce is against all the baddies. It is fun. There's been some really fun games where it was really close match. We didn't know who was gonna win. I don't know. It's hard. Die Hard. I like this game, Dungeon Academy. So I like this game because you shake up the dice, and then whatever shows up on the dice, you have to go through that dungeon, and you're trying to either collect blue guys or red guys for points. If you run into something, you may get hurt or injured. And each player, there's little character cards, and they all have different abilities. It's a cute game. I think this would be great for kids. I enjoyed playing it solo the times I played it, and I want to play it more. I want to play it with my niece. I think it would be really fun, and to play with my kids when they're a little bit older. It does have some breeding, so that's the only thing that would really be holding them back, but I think it's cute. I'm not very good at calling games. Keeping almost all of them. Aroma is a game of essences. It has essential oils in it, and you are competing to, smell the difference. This box smells pretty good. It smells so good. So there's all these little scents that you're smelling, and then you're trying to identify them and see who's the best at identifying the different scents. And there are numerous variants of how you can play. You can play some of them, there's just a couple different ways to do it. The 4 different ways to play. I haven't played it yet because of the pandemic, but my sister and her wife are really into herbal essence, so I thought it would be so much fun to play with them. I'm really looking forward to having a ladies game night, and this will be one of the stars of the show. So I want to hang on to this and play it and see how it is as a game. So we're going to hang on to it a little bit longer. This is hilarious. I didn't know that this was on, the table for calling. This is an old puzzle game called Horse Trader. This was my childhood board game. Kind of, gives you insight to where I was before I started playing board games. So this is competitive puzzling, and there's all these horse pictures, and the puzzles are in this box. And then there's dividers, so you're individually putting puzzle pieces together, but all the puzzle pieces are mixed up. And you have to trade with other people to get the puzzle pieces that you need to make your puzzle. And whoever does the puzzle first wins. And there's all these different commands, you can say hold your horses to the left, and then everyone has to trade then. Or you can do a bidding style, does anyone 2 pieces for this piece or whatever. It's just fun. It's just what we did, and we played it a lot. There's quite a few pieces missing at this point, but it's not going anywhere. This is basically a family heirloom, and it was a lot of fun to play. I think that maybe a reprinting is in order. Yeah, so Horse Trader is staying in the Monado family. Dice City. So many of these games, I'm like, yeah, but we didn't play it with our kids yet. All right, what do they say? For ages 14 and up. This game does have a lot of card reading in, and the font is actually really hard to read. But this is a fun game. It kind of feels like a lottery type of game. You have a board that has like the different colored dice on it, and when you roll the dice, if it's yellow, then you put it in the number 5 slot for yellow, and whatever card or whatever action is in that slot, that's what you get to do. And as you gain more money, you can draft cards and you can put better and better actions on your board as you roll dice. So it has this element where you're always trying to fill in your spaces for the numbers you roll the most frequently, to excel at the game. And you're building military, you're building like museums and homes and mansions, and you're basically building up this city or this society with the dice rolling. But it's very, very fun. It really has a slot machine feel because you're always rolling those dice, trying to get the dice to do what you need that turn. So it has an addictive feel to it. It's fun. I know that, 10 years down the line, I'll be like, what happened to Dice City? We should never have gotten rid of it, Daniel. So we're going to keep it because it's a good one. Santorini. I'm glad to see this on the call list because this is a game that I thought I was going to love and was just disappointed by because I'm really bad at it. I cannot excel at this game. But basically, it's a abstract strategy. Well, is it abstract? But it's a strategy game where you are building these Greek homes and you're trying to get to a certain level. And if your character gets on top, then you win. But there's all sorts of rules. Like you can only build to the building next to you and it has to go one level up. And someone can prevent you from claiming the tower that you want by capping it with one of these blue globes. So it's very tactical and strategic, and ages 8 and up, I just don't get that. I don't know. This just was not the game for me, so I was a little disappointed, and we really don't play it that much. So I am, totally fine with moving this along to a better home. Okay. This game, technically we can't play it because we took all the minis out. We played it a lot when we first got it because we wanted to review it. We wanted to give it a good review, a fair review. But basically we were really disappointed with it. And the more we played it, the more disappointing we were, because if you play through from the beginning again, the entire scenario repeats. There's no deviation from the original play, and that was just really disappointing. It's very combat heavy and not story driven. Everyone else from the Lord of the Rings and Bilbo are running around Middle Earth fighting orcs for some reason. It just was disappointing for diehard Lord of the Rings fans that was looking for a strong story-driven adventure game. So this was not for us. I know a lot of people like it, and that's fine. Take apart the rest of the game and just keep it for the minis. I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but definitely aren't playing it. And it's a huge box, which is a shame. So I'm not sure what we should do with it. We should probably try and sell it to someone, or give it to someone to play and enjoy, because we really aren't doing it justice. All right, and finally, Aeron's End. Aeron's End is a deck building game that I actually liked quite a lot. I like the base mechanic of it, of the deck building and the breaches and the power cards. The upgrading cards were really good, but we were extremely disappointed with the legacy aspect to it because the character development was just super disappointing. That's all I can say about it. I don't want to ruin it for anyone else. Legacy games are all about surprises and unfolding what's going to happen next. And it just fell flat for us. I don't know, like, we probably would, if we had just bought Aaron's End alone, we would probably keep it, because it was a pretty solid deck builder. But the Legacy, we're not that interested in it. We already spent, like, I think it was $70 for the Legacy. We don't want to spend more money for the reboot pack, because we're just not that happy with it. So unfortunately, we made the wrong call with our purchase, and now we have the Legacy. But I think we're going to be giving this to a friend of ours that has a store, and if someone is interested in purchasing this, I don't know, we might just say, like, just give it to them if they're going to buy the reboot pack to save them some money. But we will try and find a good home for Aaron's End Legacy. Aaron's End. I forget. Yeah. How did I do? Did I do all right? I should have gotten rid of at least 10. 11! Now I know how my husband really feels about my games. I think I have legitimate reasons for keeping a lot of these. Some of them are sentimental reasons. Some of them are just, like, he doesn't enjoy them at all, and the rest of us do. So we're going to hang on to them, which is fine. I'm glad that he had this opportunity to, get it out of his system. But these games are definitely staying in our collection. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
That was I bought her that as a Christmas gift. And look how she just tosses it to the wind.
Mom, want to watch this from?
No.
What?
I'm trying to record.
Look at this big head.
The Grizzle?
Yeah. I like the Grizzle.
We never played anymore.
Big head.
Cull. You did pretty good. Oops. I feel like it's such a test.
You're keeping Die Hard?
I'm recording right now. Do you need something?
So you still want to hold on the code names, huh?
Of course.
Of course. No one wants to play code names.
Hey! And Horse Trainer is a family heirloom.
Well, if you're not in the picture, then it's not a family heirloom anymore, because it's your family heirloom. With missing pieces, no less.
Well, until someone remakes it, I'm gonna hang on to it.
No one's gonna remake it.
Great game.